Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So I promise you I am really trying to get these out of my system before Christmas, but unfortunately they are the gift that keeps on giving. There is just no let up. As soon as we seem to just have a moment, it's like bang, something else, bang, something else. And that is literally how it is. And everyone is talking about this docu-series. I haven't watched it. So what I'm doing is I'm seeing things that are coming up in the media, and then I'm looking at it and I'm kind of going, okay, that is something I'm going to talk about. Now, for you guys out there, if there's something that you are seeing that you would like me to talk about, please always drop it in the comments, because I will then look at it, and if it's something that I can talk about, I will. It is freezing cold here at the moment. I'm sitting here, and even though I've got the heating on, I feel cold. So it's making me kind of feel, which actually though makes a change from not having the hot glows, the hot flashes. So yes, in today's video, I have spotted that something came up on the media where it said that Harry was taking responsibility for Meghan not seeing her father, or in his words, not having a father, that he blames himself. Or he takes responsibility for it. And I was just watching that, and I was just like, wow. So I obviously listened to the clip that come off, and I was just like, this is absolutely ridiculous. So I thought, no, this is something that I really want to talk about. So for the new people here that don't understand, because I've had it, you know, what is the Bubble family? So basically the Bubble family is what I call my subscribers, or people that watch, that have become part of our little community where we seek out the truth as much as we can, and I give my therapeutic perspective on things, because I am a qualified therapist and trained life coach. But this isn't therapy. This is me giving my personal opinions, which do sometimes differ from therapeutic opinions, because I can separate the two. There is me, and then there's therapy me. But so this isn't therapy, but it's kind of like you get the best of both worlds. You get me having a good old rant and a rave at times, and then you get the therapeutic perspective, which hopefully will help you. So if you want to join this video and let's talk about this particular scene that I saw, then if you don't know by now, grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, whether it be a glass of water, whether it be a latte, whether it be a Diet Pepsi or a Coke, or maybe you are starting on the eggnog, or you're starting on some other kind of spirit, because as I always say, you add a little something, because it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's grab that drink and dive right in. So Bubbles, honestly, I'm so cold today. I'm sitting in my bedroom because, yes, I know I keep saying about my office. Honestly, I have a sofa, which is the bane of my life in my office at the moment, and it's an old sofa, which is what I had before I got the new ones. And even though it's an old sofa, it's actually in really good condition. I cannot give it away. I cannot give it away. I've literally advertised it for free. It's an ex-DFS one. It's a really good one, but I cannot give this sofa away. I think probably because people have got to hire a van, which can be cumbersome and expensive. So I understand that. So it's stuck in my office, and I had someone to come and look at it, and they were like, no, we don't want it. So I was like, ugh. So it's kind of like it's stuck in my office at the minute, so I can't actually get in there to use it. And I'm just so frustrated, because I've got my nice little shelving unit, I've got my desk, but I've just got this sofa in the way, and I'm just like, I just want this sofa out. So hopefully it's going next week, so then I can get in my office to show you all my loveliness. So I'm so excited about that. So I'm sitting in my bedroom, which I never have the heating on in my bedroom because, because I just get too hot. But I'm sitting here and I'm actually cold. So I've actually put my radiator on for a little bit because my hands are freezing. And of course, because I'm sitting here trying to do a video, I can feel my body like shaking. So it's kind of like throwing me off a little bit. I mean, it does make a change from having the hot flushes. But I've gone the other way now. I'm freezing. So yeah, anyway, I digress. So yes, the video, not the video, just those two. So in this particular scene, apparently Harry is taking responsibility for Meghan not speaking to her father. Now, either he has been so badly gaslit by her that he truly does believe that it's his fault, or he genuinely blames himself because of who he is, his family is. But to me, that's absolutely ridiculous, because he says things like, he's saying things like, she hasn't got a dad. Yes, she has. She chose to not have that relationship. And it seems that they're consistently lying, because, and I will be doing a video on their constant changing of their stories now, which I think I will do at some point, maybe. Now they met over Instagram. They didn't meet on a blind date, which they said in their engagement interview. They met on a blind date because they didn't want to release the name of the person that set them up, Marcus Anderson. No, now they met on Instagram. Apparently, before I get to this other bit, apparently Harry was scrolling through Instagram and just happened upon Meghan Markle, who apparently was dressed in or had a filter on, or I don't know, dressed in do you know, I just generally don't know. And apparently went, she looks nice. Who's she? Who is she? and apparently that's how they met. The lies. Honestly, I mean, I'd love to think that Prince Harry was just sitting there like us, kind of going through Instagram. But what utter shite! The fact that he's actually expecting us to believe that he was scrolling through Instagram and just happened upon Meghan Markle and was like, oh, she looks nice. Is almost as pathetic as her. Is he? I just have one question to ask. Is he kind? I don't know who he is. Who is Prince Harry? I've never heard of him before. I don't know anything about him. Whilst having pictures of Diana up and dressing like Diana and holding books up about Diana. Just honestly. So they've lied. So they lied in their engagement video. They lied. And how is it again, the media literally talk about this. Oh, they met through Instagram, but no one's kind of going, but hang on a minute. Didn't they say in their engagement video interview that they met through a blind date, through a friend of theirs, Marcus Anderson? What's that about then? So it's like they've lied again. They continually lie, and yet somehow when they say anything, their fan base kind of go, oh, well, because they've said it must be true then, even though they've been proven to lie and lie again. And now my nose is cold, honestly. So so apparently now Harry has said that he takes responsibility for her losing her father. Let's break that down. Okay, so Meghan apparently had a loving, this is her words, loving relationship with her father. He was like her daddy. She put out statements about him on Instagram. He did everything for her. She was very grateful for that. Well, publicly anyway. And then she meets Harry. Now, why is it then, in the 2 years between meeting Harry and the wedding that Harry never met him. They had one conversation on the phone, apparently, and she never met him. Sorry, he never met him. Him, her, who, her. Yeah, Harry never met Thomas Markle in 2 years. Why is that? Because somehow she's leading other people to believe that this was all down to this particular setup with the paparazzi and given an interview or whatever it is. But yet he never met Harry prior to that. My theory is, and this is not a therapeutic theory, but this is my personal theory, is that I think she lied. I think she told a whopper of a story that created her childhood and the way her family was on her father's side to be horrible, abusive. I think she's lied to create herself to be a victim so Harry would feel sorry for her. She's portrayed herself potentially as, you know, I've worked my way up, I've put myself through film school or whatever it is, and I have done everything. And as soon as I started earning money on Suits, my father would ask me for money. He would do this, he would do that. They only ever want me in their life because I'm famous. You can just see her saying it. And knowing the fact that we believe that she's a narcissistic personality type, she would absolutely say something like this. So I think that she has created this whole other story of her lifestyle and her life growing up. And there's one person that would know the truth, aside from Thomas Markle and that side of the family, and that would be Doria. So it kind of makes sense that she needed someone on her side. And of course, this perfect picture of Doria sitting there on her own in this big, church as they got married, sort of pays to that, what she was kind of going for. You know, this kind of, sorry, I got something in my eye. So I think, I'll get to that bit in a minute. I think that she has created this, this scenario. However, so then I feel that this photo shoot was set up and she had no intention of Thomas Markle ever coming to the wedding. If she didn't have him meet Harry in those 2 years, there was no way that was ever going to happen. And the reason being is because then the truth would have been exposed. Thomas would have spoken to Harry, or the family would have spoken to Harry, and Harry would have realised that none of it was true. None of it was true. So she had to control the narrative. You know, she could probably lie and explain away some of the things that she'd said on Instagram. She could say that, I had to say that, but there was no one else that would say, actually, what she's saying is a complete lie. We already know and have heard from Lady C, who said that when she was writing her book, that somebody contacted and said some really quite awful allegations against the father. So it's not a far stretch to think that that is exactly what she's said to Harry. So I think this whole photo shoot was set up. But let's say for argument's sake, it wasn't, and he did do it. Is that one thing that bad to constitute never speaking to him again? Never showing the Casper children to him? He's not involved in their life, nothing. And I think that is what is completely shocking to me, is that she has now created Harry to believe that it's his fault. So whether or not that's been said in an argument or what, I genuinely don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me, as in, like, this is your fault. All of this is your fault. Oh, my fringe is doing my head in. It's like when you want to wash your, sorry. When you want to wash your hair and it's like doesn't play well with others. Because it's gone all skew with. So that is what I think. I think she set this up. I truly believe, because if she really did dote on her father the way she said she did, she would have allowed Harry to meet meet him. But she didn't. And I want to also then think that she hasn't really had those feelings for her father. I think they've just played into her tig. I think it kind of aligns well, doesn't it? When you act like a daddy's girl publicly, people kind of like, oh, she's so lovely. Look at the way she speaks about her dad. And I think it was part of the design all along. It's like everything she does is with the public in mind. She is so manipulative. She will do and say whatever it takes, as long as the end result is her becoming more famous or getting more money or more freebies. She will say and do whatever it takes. So it isn't a far stretch to think that she'll do that in every aspect of her life. But I think it's deeply sad that Harry is now in a place where he truly is taking full responsibility for it. No, Harry, it's Meghan's responsibility. Meghan can pick up the phone to her father and say, hi, Dad, can we talk? She can forgive her father, even though I don't think he's done anything wrong, but she could have forgiven him. I think it takes a lot for someone to decide they no longer want a member of their family in their life, especially a parental figure. They are the most important people in a child's life at the beginning. Now, I guess I know along the way, some people, they lose their parents, or some people don't end up having their parents around, and they might have other people in their life. But fundamentally, in the beginning, that relationship you have with your parents is one of the most crucial relationships you can have. And especially the whole concept of a daddy's girl. But I don't believe she's ever had that. I think she's always been self-serving. She's always been, you can see in some of her earlier videos, even as a child, she's very bratty behaviour. And I think that's just escalated and now become into narcissistic personality disorder. And the fact that she will openly allow her husband to go on camera and say, I take responsibility. She's putting the blame. And to me, it's setting, I think she's calculatingly setting up the narrative for Harry to take the fall. I've said this all along, you know, and I know some of you have as well, because now it's kind of going to be, it's Harry's fault. If this marriage fails, it's Harry's fault. It's Harry's family's fault. It's the media's fault. If you have to lie to make up stock photos, like, for example, you know, put in photos where it's actually Katie Price was being chased, or the Harry Potter premiere, you have to stick that photograph up to show that you were being hounded by the press. If you have to lie, there's a problem. And if they can so easily lie on Oprah, on the Netflix, this docuseries, then it's not a far stretch to think, what else have they lied about? So yeah, so going back to that, I do absolutely believe that she set her father up. I think she had no intention of him coming to the wedding, and I think the stress of it, she threw that poor man and the family to the wolves. They had no idea how to deal with the paparazzi. They had no idea how to deal with anything. And instead of protecting him and making sure he was okay, or making sure the family were okay, she looked after herself. And I think that's what's the most disgusting thing here, is that she actually just looked after herself and what she needed, and she didn't give a damn about her father or her father's family, to the point when you have got your father having a heart attack, and I believe, 2 heart attacks, and he's even apologising to her to say, I'm really sorry, I can't come. And what do? They lie. Oh, we sent a car and he didn't want to come. We tried texting and calling. He didn't pick up the phone. Oh, but no, hang on a minute. Someone must have erased those text messages. No, they never happened. So they lie. But even if all of that was true, why would you not get on a private jet? Because they're so happy to get on private jets to go everywhere. Why would you not get on a private jet to go and visit your father, who's just had a heart attack in hospital? How heartless and cruel do you have to be that your wedding is more important than your father who's just had a heart attack. I'm sorry. If that was me, and I'm sure many of us would agree, if we loved our parents, as I do, if anything happened to one of my parents, no matter who they were, even if I was a bit mad at them and they had a heart attack, which, you know, touch wood, they don't, but if they did, I would be on the first, well, I mean, it's a car journey in my case, not a private jet, but even so, I would be there. I would postpone the wedding. But of course, no, they didn't. And then not only that, she then disowned him. So that poor man who's done everything for her not only doesn't get to come to the wedding and then sits and watches Doria sit there, who's not really done anything and not raised her daughter, basking in the limelight, but yeah, he's kind of made out to be the villain. So of course they're then going to go on and do interviews. Of course they're going to go on and talk about their side of things. When you're being literally slated in the media and you're having your daughter say that it's unforgivable that you've spoken to the media, or unforgivable that you've been caught doing this photo shoot, when you've literally been thrown to the wolves with no protection. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how this woman behaves. But not only that, how the media disgustingly have allowed this poor family to be trashed in the media. And I don't blame them for coming out and talking about it and even getting paid for doing interviews. I do not blame them for that. So I think this whole thing of Harry saying that he takes responsibility, no, Meghan chose to marry into the royal family. She knew exactly what she was doing. She didn't have to do that. She didn't also have to throw her dad to the curb. You know, she could have contacted her dad at any point. By Harry saying, oh, it's my fault, that's her gaslighting him. And I do believe she probably would have said, it's all your fault. You know, if you have somebody that does that, she's not taking any responsibility for her part in this. There is nothing stopping her picking up the phone to her father. And even when recently he had a stroke, nothing stopping her driving, 3 hours she lives away from him, 3 hours, getting in a private jet, driving to go see him. Nothing. But no, all she wants to do is make out that she's the victim and he's the one that's in the wrong. And then on top of that, she's now got her husband believing that he's responsible for it. No, Harry, like I've said, your wife is responsible. She made the choice to marry into the royal family, knowing that this could potentially happen. It's not like she wasn't in the public eye, all right, admittedly nowhere near as what she is now, but she knew exactly what she was doing. And she should have protected her father, protected her family, but she didn't. So it's absolutely 100% her responsibility. She chose to marry into the royal family. She chose to allow her father to be exploited by the media. She chose to not protect him. She chose to lie in court when the letter come out. She chose to share it with 5 of her personalities, because I don't believe it was 5 of her friends. I think it was just 5 of her personalities that read that letter and speak to the media about it. She chose to talk about things in her interviews and in Oprah. She chose to do that. She chose to ignore her father when he had a stroke. Chose to ignore her father when he had a heart attack, 2 heart attacks. She chose that. No one made her do it. So this is why I am so angry at the way this couple are just exploiting and in all seriousness, gaslighting the world, in my opinion, or attempting to. Thankfully, more and more people are seeing through it. Thankfully. So yeah, I think, you know, gaslighting to me is one of the most serious things in when you're looking at narcissistic personality disorder, because they really can create you to believe that they are the innocent ones and you are the ones that are guilty. And that is so excuse me, hiccups. That is so manipulative, and she is incredibly manipulative, in my opinion. Oh, for goodness sake. It's always something. Now I've got the hiccups now. So let me know what you think in the comments. I think the thing is, I will say this: if you feel that you're being gaslit by somebody, whether it be family, friends, relationship, children even, really try and trust yourself. I know that's not always easy. What I would always suggest to people is, if they feel that they're being gaslit, is write things down in a journal. You know, if you find that your memory's not great, because I know especially a lot of us women, you know, we do struggle with our memory loss as we get older. So if you feel there's an element of that, like for example, they're saying they said something to you and they haven't, there's nothing stopping you recording things. Record things. If you think you're being gaslit, record things to make sure that you know that you're not, you know, that you are right. Write things down. Don't just take their word for it. But yeah, so I'm just fed up. Oh, I'm just so fed up with them. But I will say this, maybe, touching wood, that I might be coming out of my shadow ban, because the day before, my last video, I've hit 30k views. So let's hope I'm coming out of my shadow ban. And this is not just a one-off fluke. Please. Because that would be really nice in time for Christmas. But yeah, so we'll see. So let me know what you think in the comments in regards to this particular statement. What do you think? I know I kind of know what you're going to say. Oh, hello, Arthur. Round and round we go. Arthur. Baba. Is that? No, I'm ignoring you. Are you ignoring Mummy? Arthur. Arthur. Do you want to come on camera? Baba. Hey. He's like, nope. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to you. Yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I say, that I know what you're going to say, but I do enjoy reading them anyway. So if you like this video, please think about giving it a thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate it. If you don't want to miss future uploads, then please think about subscribing to my channel, because my subs have gone up. I've realised today that I'm at 21,000, so I've gone up again, because I was before that I was at 20. When I last looked, I was 20.6, so 20,600. Then I went in this morning and I was like, wait, hang on, what? I'm 21,000, yay! So I've gone up, so that's great. So yeah, so if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, please do. If you like this video and you get something from it and you want to buy me a cuppa, the link is in the description box of my video, but you can also click on the top right and above the subscribe button, and that there's a little square thing which you can click on. That I think it looks like a little cup of coffee, and you can click on that and you can it takes you through to buy me a cuppa. You can become a Patreon, you can become a member, and all the money that I use for that goes towards me helping people behind the scenes. I do help people for free who struggle financially. Unfortunately, as I've said before, that whilst I was in the shadow ban, my viewing dropped massively, which then affects the money that I get, which means then that I can't afford to help as many people as I'd like. So I do wish YouTube would stop messing around with my channel. But so all the money that I get from like the Patreon and the cup of coffee and the members, they all go towards me helping people for free who struggle financially, especially in these times right now, because I do really want to try and do that. What else? My PO box, if you want to send me something, maybe you want to send me a Christmas card, you can use my PO box and you can send me a Christmas card. And I'm on Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, so come along and join me there. Just so pretty much everything that you need to know, whether you want to contact me via email, everything you need to know is in the description box of my videos. So please head along to there and have a look through, so see if there's anything that you might like. And in the meantime, thank you as always. I appreciate you, and I will see you next week because I am going shopping with my mum over the weekend. I'm going to spend the weekend with my mum and dad and Arthur. Yeah, so in the meantime, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Mwah. Bye, Bubble family.